This is the absolute chaos of the day before, and pretty much released, I want to say, December 2023, and just like that, it was unlisted, and was removed from Steam in that time frame because, yeah, it was a blatant scam. It was a blatant cash grab, essentially. And what it was initially going to be was a zombie survival game. Basically, it was going to be a mix of both DayZ and The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division. That's what it was supposed to be. Unfortunately, we unfortunately got something that was, well, that was not that.
Zombies have been a pop culture staple for decades. Movies, books, music videos, comics, all having their swing at the genre to great success. But with the advent of computer technology, a whole new avenue of the genre began to sprout. It was a perfect fit, and zombie games gained traction quickly. But in 2012...
Yeah, dude, there are so many zombie games nowadays. Like, as opposed to the stuff that, was being released back in the day, like, honestly.
But in 2012, a new computer technology, a whole new avenue of the genre began to sprout. It was a perfect fit.
Like, these games are just the tip of the iceberg now. There are so many, dude.
But in
there are, like, way too many. Like, you got COD Zombies, you got freaking Dead Island, you have DayZ, you have friggin', I think Killing Floor is another one. Like, you have Back for Blood, which is basically just a Left 4 Dead clone. Like, there are so many zombie games nowadays. It's very oversaturated.
2012, a new type of zombie game appeared.
Yep.
And now it's all over.
Yeah, DayZ used to actually be a mod for, what's it called? Arma, I'm pretty sure. And then it ended up becoming its own game. Like, Bohemia Interactive ended up making DayZ its own dedicated game, and people friggin' loved it, dude. People still love it.
Your YouTube homepage. The concept of the DayZ mod was simple. Drop around 60 people in a huge, open world map with basically nothing to their name, and let them hunt, craft, and loot weapons, vehicles, armor, and food. Then sprinkle a few zombies here and there, a drizzle of survival aspects, a pinch of PvP, and then for the final touch, proximity chat.
Yep. Also, I have a lot of fun with DayZ. I can't wait to actually play it again, because I'm probably gonna get a Game Pass Ultimate like sometime either in like November or December again, because I had a DayZ through Game Pass Ultimate. I had a lot of fun playing that game, and I really want to play it again, but unfortunately I only have Game Pass Core, so gotta wait to actually get my hands on it again. When I do, now that I have a better console, I'll probably end up streaming it, because I think my initial problem with streaming DayZ was because I was playing it on Xbox One S, which is a lot weaker than the Series S, so that's definitely a big problem.
Delicious. And the open world sandbox multiplayer zombie survival game was served. But first, do you browse the internet?
Yes, I do.
And you don't have Opera GX? Oh my god. Opera GX is not your average browser. It's built from the ground up for gamers.
I mean,
the customization is vast.
Every time I see a GX ad, I gotta say, I'm on it. I'm on GX right now. Right now there, fella, I'm on GX. Opera GX there. Yeah. You can't really see the sidebar and whatnot because apparently that doesn't appear in OBS capture. Oddly enough, but yeah, everything works just fine and dandy. So yeah, GX is pretty solid for what it is.
And is that a Big Boss themed mod pack?
Yes, it
Designed
is.
by experts for smooth, efficient, military-grade browsing purposes. Listen to only the most therapeutic sounds as you open tabs, close tabs, and type. All the while, listening to
you
smooth
can
tracks.
customize the sound that happens when you type, open and close new tabs. I haven't really done that. I've just used like the default sounds. Works well enough for me because, dude, if I really didn't care and I just like put random, I feel like I would make the opening and closing of tabs just the absolute most cursed thing in the world. If I really just went all out. But I limit myself because I don't want to be too crazy now. I could, but I choose not to.
And look at that beautiful new wallpaper.
Yes.
Don't like certain features of the mod pack? Well, just turn them off.
Yep.
Don't like the mod pack itself? There's a ton more on the store. Also, Opera GX has a ton of built-in apps. Spotify, Twitch.
I don't have a mod. I just changed my background to Arcane. I should probably update the background because new season means new friggin' what's it called? New poster. Also, you're able to set your location to whatever you want it to be. I set mine to Finland because why not? Yeah. I mean, nobody knows where I actually live, so it does its good job well.
Twitch, even ChatGPT, meaning prompts and articles are a stone's throw away.
Yep.
It's also optimized. Clean temporary files from the sidebar using Opera Clean, and limit RAM, CPU, and network usage using GX control. Now you can keep a bunch of tabs open.
I totally forgot that what's it called? Pixlr, pixlr.com. I totally forgot that it actually clears out your temporary projects once you clear the cache. And I accidentally did that. Dude, I cleared out like several thumbnails and other things I was working on in Pixlr, and I was like, bro, I forgot it does that. I lost a lot of good stuff there. I lost a lot of good thumbnails. A lot of good like images that I forgot to save. And yeah, I hate everything.
Without a hit to performance, and keep those downloads uninterrupted. And are those free games and bargain deals, breaking game news and new releases? My god, they even have a calendar. Catspill, Sword of the Necromancer, Spacebar Clicker, and Happy Sheeples. GX.
Is there any? You know, I forgot to. I don't really check, but is there anything coming out right now that I would be semi interested in? Okay, wait. There's Arena Breakout. There is a. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a release calendar right here. Nah, not anything really. Not necessarily, no. I mean, in like the distant future. Well, Smite 2 is coming out. So is Concord. What is Endzone? Endzone 2. I don't know. I'll look at this on my own time. Let's just get back to this.
This corner has it all. Normal browser bad, Opera GX good. Get it now at the link in the description.
I mean, it does have some flaws. Like certain websites don't work well. Yeah, you gotta prioritize certain things over others. Not a perfect browser, but hey, it's still good for what it is. Also, yeah, that was a solid ad read. I'll give it a I'll give it a generous 7 out of 10. Not 7. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7. Actually, no, 7.5 out of 10. We'll just give it 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. That was solid. Straight to the point. I enjoyed it.
DayZ was an instant success, and over time, similar games would appear. At first sporadically, but then very, very quickly.
Yep.
Initially, gamers are excited. A promising new genre ripe for exploration. What could go wrong? But by the late 2010s, that question had been answered.
Yep.
A sea of absolute atrocities floods shelves at breakneck speed. There is nowhere to run. These are often in the form of a fairly new early access game, a model that often...
Yeah, I have a lot to say about early access games. I have way too much to say. Way too much. 7 Days to Die was a early access game, and yeah, it was garbage. It's finally getting a actual full release now, but yeah, like when it was a thing, it was trash.
Often involves taking everyone's money first and asking questions later.
Yep.
As a result, half-baked, buggy, misleadingly advertised, and massively overhyped games swamp the market. And over time, sentiment on the genre changes. People take a look at their Steam library, and after a few years, they'd slowly begun to notice something. All of these games were absolute arse. Open world, sandbox.
Yeah, a lot of times it's putting it lightly, because a lot of these are just, like, a lot of them are just copy-paste games that already exist. Like, you know, there's a lot of DayZ clones, there's a lot of friggin' Left 4 Dead clones, there's like a lot of clones of a lot of popular games. Zombie games, that is, but yeah. Oh, what a lot of them have in common is, like, they're not produced well. They're not, you know, they're not made well, and quite frankly, yeah, you can't beat out the originals most times.
Multiplayer, zombie, survival. Words that once drummed up considerable hype, now ominous warnings to any poor soul in their sights.
Yeah.
And after years upon years of terrible cash grabs, it was apparent. The genre had finally reached critical mass. The horde of abhorrent releases was too much. At this point, far too many had been lost to the genre. The dream was over. Dust.
That's what happens. That's what happens. Like, when popular things popular, everybody wants to try to do it until, you know, everybody screws it up and it's no longer popular. That has happened one too many times. That's happened like one too many times, man. One too many times. I think I actually No, I didn't post the same link twice. Okay. Alright, yeah. But just, it happens like one too many times in zombie, open world survival, multiplayer. It was just, that was just one of the victims of, you know, a popular thing being milked.
Firstly vow never to fall for the hype and lies of this genre ever again. But in 2023, a game would release that would change everything. A game that's trailers looked so great, so promising. It would shoot to Steam's #1 wishlisted game in a matter of months. A game that would, after all of these years, finally do
I'll say this, like, a lot of it did, like, a lot of the pre-rendered stuff did look very promising. It looked really good. And yeah, I think that's what, you know, led a lot of people to think, hey, this could be the open world zombie survival game to end all open world zombie survival games. This could be what takes us to the promised land, right? And turns out it wasn't. It was not at all.
Genre justice. Realize the full potential of the open world sandbox multiplayer zombie survival game.
Yeah.
This game was the day before.
And, like, yeah, a lot of it did remind people of The Division mixed with DayZ, and that's what drove a lot of people to actually, you know, wishlist this game. That's what drove a lot of people to, you know, say, hey, I want to play this game when it releases. Like, this could be an absolute banger, right? And this, yeah, it looked really good, really promising. Despite, you know, a lot of the problems that people initially saw with it, overall reception was all right.
It's the 29th of January 2021, and a trailer drops on YouTube. And it looks amazing. PvP,
Fire.
zombies,
Absolute.
survival elements, crafting.
Fire.
And does that say MMO? And then those graphics. Whew. This game seemed to have it all. It was exactly what people had longed for.
Yeah.
And so naturally, the video gets around.
I remember like when I saw this, I was like, please tell me it's coming to console. And it's before I had a Series S, so I was like, please let this come to console on, you know, Xbox One, PS4. I wanna play this game. Please let this game drop. And yeah, this was before a lot of the this was before everything started to unwind back when the game, well, you know, when the game eventually released. So, like, positive sentiments were still, you know, common.
More than 1 million views conjured in no time.
Yep.
The day before is off to a strong start. Over in Singapore, and the developers, Fntastic, are celebrating. And for the two founding brothers, it's time to jump in front of the cam. Edward and Eisen Gotovtsev run us through the game themselves in a new combat gameplay trailer, where they call the game a real breakthrough for the MMO survival genre. And that they'd reinvented everything. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
In March, they drop a vehicle trailer.
I mean, I don't
Here,
really know.
They show up.
I mean, I'll say this: I don't really know what you could reinvent with this style of gameplay, because what a lot of it, you know, looked good, but like it just looked like the Division 2 mixed. It just looked too much like the Division 2 mixed with DayZ, and like that. Like I was kind of skeptical, but I was like, hey, you know what? This could still be good. This could still be absolutely amazing. If I only knew.
Vehicles. And then an extended gameplay trailer in April. People flock to view it, and it racks up more than 1 million views in just one day, racking up millions more down the line. At this point, the trailers and marketing materials are rich, constantly flowing. We're spoiled. But then suddenly, nothing. After April,
Yeah, that's not good.
complete radio silence. We have no choice but to wait. Months go by, and nothing but a screenshot here and a
Yeah, that's like this is what a lot of people end up getting extremely sketched about. Like this is what led a lot of people to be like, yeah, this game is definitely, it's either not coming out or this is just like a long-winded scam. Which the people who said the latter were 100% right. This is like one of the biggest scams of, you know, the 2020s in the gaming space. Like this was massive when it was found out that this was, you know, that the game was, you know, a complete sham.
the tweet there. Bear in mind, at this point, the official release date is just coming soon. We're starved.
Yeah, again, nobody knew the release date. Like they never said that it's going to come out, you know, they didn't say it's going to come out XYZ. They said, you know, it's just coming soon. Nobody knew a thing. Nobody knew even the year that this was going to be dropped. For a lot that we knew about you know, this game, that was really troubling.
But finally, after 5 months of silence, in October, they come back. Another trailer on IGN. This time, a look at the world they'd created from the ground up, including a massive shopping centre. The music choice is strange, but oh well. And wait, there's more. Weightlifting. Nice. And guess what? The brothers are back. They jump on cam again, and give a shout out to their global team, which consists of thousands of people from Russia, Germany, Kazakhstan, Turkey, and more. And is that, oh my god, the release date? Wait, it's 2025? 2024? 2023? Oh my god. 21st of June, 2022.
Yeah.
That's just a few months' time.
There was no way that they were going to actually make that date. I'm gonna just keep the stack solid. There's no way that they're going to make that date. With everything that was going on, I didn't believe it. In fact, I forgot all about this game until, I saw the IGN trailer, and I was like, surely this isn't coming this year, right? Like, this can't be be getting released this year. And yeah, I was perplexed because, yeah.
The game goes on a media blitz. Articles are everywhere. It even climbs the ranks to Steam's #1 wishlisted game, beating out the likes of Stalker 2 and even Starfield. Todd is distraught. They use this spotlight to announce a new Fntastic game, called Prop Night. Essentially, Dead by Daylight mixed with Prop Hunt. It releases a few weeks later, in November 2021. And it's fine. Nothing like the scope of the day before, but it works, and sells a decent amount of copies. And with that, they disappear again, not to be heard from again for months.
Yeah. Like, when they went radio silent the second time, that's when a lot of people actually had, like, their doubts about, the day before. I mean, like, this game always did have its doubters, but this is when, like, this is when a lot more people began to, doubt what they were doing with the day before. And I always kept out hope for this game, but I was like, like the first few months that, nothing was heard, I was like, I don't know, like, this ain't looking too good.
It's May 2022, now just 1 month till release. And still, nothing. What's going on? It's at this point that people on the internet gather together and questions start being asked.
Yeah.
This was now the second time Fntastic had gone dark, this time a month before launch no less.
Yeah, again, a lot of people already saw this and thought, this either not a lot of people thought this was a scam, but there were definitely those people who thought this game isn't going to be all that they want it to be. And I pretty much that's what they were thinking. And I mean, like, that does have some merit, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know what else people were. Yeah.
Was this game even real? However, in January, Nvidia had dropped a promotional...
I always thought that, this game was actually being developed, but little did I know.
Video showcasing the game in 4K, and it's glorious. For that to get posted on Nvidia's official YouTube channel, they must have something. But finally, Fntastic comes out from the shadows. Okay, yes, the game is supposed to be launching in a month's time. However, no, it's not. We've decided we're switching to Unreal Engine 5, and the game will now come out in about a year's time, March the 1st, 2023. The transition to a more advanced and adapted open world engine will make the gameplay of the day before even more fantastic. And with that...
And pretty much that was my hopes of the game actually coming out on Xbox One, PS4. Like, when they announced that it was going to be switching over to Unreal 5, I was like, well, damn it. Damn it. That's... Because, yeah, a lot of games that are on Unreal 5 don't necessarily run too well on last-gen hardware. Thankfully, I upgraded, but, that wouldn't be for, like, another year. And then, yeah, we figured out that the day before it was scam. Was big scam. Oof.
They drop the mic and walk away. Okay, so instead of 6 weeks till launch, it's now about a year.
Yep.
Not great, and a bit of a late announcement. Also, the change to a different engine just 1 month from launch, definitely a bit sussy. Then fast forward to June.
That was really sketch when they did that, because, like, if they were almost to the point where, you know, the game was like ready to be shipped out, they would have just shipped it with Unreal 4. Like, they wouldn't wait until like they wouldn't like drop everything and when Unreal 5 dropped and just said, hey, you know what, Unreal 5 is coming out. We're gonna get rid of this build of the game and just focus, or we're gonna import, you know, what we have saved on Unreal 4 to Unreal 5, and we just gotta rework everything. Yeah, that definitely sketched out a lot of people, me included. But hey, I still held out hope. Shame on me.
And a page is discovered on Fntastic's website. On it reads, "Be a volunteer." Fntastic's culture is based on the idea of volunteering. Every member of Fntastic is a volunteer. Naturally, people are horrified. They're using unpaid labour to make this game. However, Fntastic comes out of the dark again. They tell us all of its employees, paid or not, are volunteers.
Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Let's actually head back a few seconds because there's something I want to say.
Fntastic's culture is based on the idea of volunteering. Every member of Fntastic is a volunteer. Naturally, people are horrified. They're using unpaid labour to...
Yeah, their use of volunteers definitely was a bit well, I didn't even say a bit. It was definitely eye-raising because, like, you're using unpaid, like, you better be giving these people, like, the most benefits when this game drops, because there's no way you should be getting away with using free labor, you know, unpaid workers to finish this game. That seems really problematic
to make this game. However, Fntastic comes out of the dark again. They tell us all of its employees, paid or not, are volunteers. This is because they always try to bring in proactive people with open hearts. Right.
Yeah.
What's actually happening is there's two types of workers there. Both have salaries. It's just one of those salaries consists exclusively of cool rewards, participation certificates, and free codes.
Oh, yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad. That's actually, I think that's illegal. But then again, these guys are based in Singapore, so the laws might be different there. But in the US, it's definitely legal. That you cannot do that. You have to actually pay them wages over here. Yeah, that is mega illegal.
Also, a perfect time to jump in front of the cam again. This time they advertise this volunteer culture on their YouTube, saying how nice it is to be part of their unpaid volunteer team. Wonderful. Okay.
I mean, if you have like a QA team, like quality assurance, that's fine. Like, but you still gotta pay QA guys. But having like unpaid volunteer, that's definitely like sort of like, I feel like that's sort of, you know, like that's a bit that's legal action territory. I'm pretty sure. If it happened over here in the US, that's definitely like legal action.
Okay, yeah. None of this was sounding too reassuring. So people do a bit of digging and actually look into the company. Fntastic. Turns out the two brothers set up the company in the Siberian city of Yakutsk, Russia, back in around 2016. This was back when they just started their first game, Wild 8. This is a small indie survival game, crowdfunded on Kickstarter to the tune of almost $60,000 and with a publisher called Hype Train on board. And the Wild 8 released onto Steam Early Access in February 2017. Success.
Yeah.
However, just 9 months after putting the game out, problem. An argument arises within the team and resulted in them ditching the game entirely and ending up selling the rights to the publisher.
That's not
Onto
good.
Dead Dozen. This is a co-op horror game, Fntastic,
That was not... What is this?
released in March 2018. It launches in a terrible state, and just 1 month after launch, They announced they're out of funds, and that it's over.
Yep. Damn, I didn't know about these two games. Like, Wild 8 and what's it called? And, what was it? Wild 8
Resulted in them ditching the game entirely, and ending up selling the rights to the publisher. On to Dead Dozen.
Dead Dozen.
This is a co-op horror game in a terrible state, and just 1 month after launch, they announced they're out of funds, and that it's over.
Again, this proved that there was a pattern of behavior, but I didn't know about the Wild 8 or Dead Dozen, but yeah, this is definitely not a good look.
It's delisted from Steam in under 2 years. Then Radiant One, a small, isometric, free-to-play mobile game released on July the 6th, 2018.
Let me guess.
This is bug-free and launched without a hitch.
Problem?
But again, it's a tiny mobile game. And finally, Prop Night at the end of 2021. Now in fairness, they actually had given this some post-launch support, and even completely overhauled the graphics in an update, which everyone absolutely hated, and was promptly reverted. But so far, this was the only game they've actually announced and stuck with for a bit. So not the greatest track record so far. And then straight from all of that to one of the most ambitious MMOs ever made?
Yeah, in hindsight, there's no way that this... Like, knowing what I know now, yeah, this didn't stand half a chance. The day before did not stand a half of a chance, because Jesus Christ. Like, under a competent studio, perhaps, but under Fntastic, no way. Not under Fntastic, dude. Not happening.
Yeah. What people initially assumed was probably a fairly big, competent studio that could maybe actually tackle something like this, was actually a minuscule studio that had pumped out a couple of half-assed, quickly abandoned early access titles, and a free-to-play mobile game, and also had a ton of their staff essentially working for free.
Yeah. That's not good. Like, the thing is, like, this probably isn't the last time they're going to do this. Yes, the day before was the most recent example, but this isn't going to be the last example. They're gonna keep doing this, man. Are they gonna get away with it? Probably not. No, probably not with how massive the day before was. But this is a pattern of behavior, dude. Like they're going to do this again. Without a reasonable doubt. They're going to repeat this cycle.
Not ideal. People also take the time to look into Mytona, the day before's publisher. They'd previously published genre-pioneering hits, such as Chef and Friends and Cooking Diary.
What in the world? These look like, I think these are actually mobile games. Like, these are just, like, the most cookie-cutter mobile games. Dude.
So, of course, the next natural step was an absolutely enormous zombie MMO.
Yeah.
And to top that all off, for the rest of 2022, radio silence again. People are now very concerned. Right guys, we're losing support at breakneck speed here. Something has to be done. And in January 2023...
I think for the rest of 2022, I forgot that this game even exists, or was going to actually be a thing. I forgot the day before was even supposed to exist for the rest of 2022. Like, I heard at the beginning the beginning of the year, I knew about the game, but, after they went radio silent, I totally forgot all about it. Because I think, like, what was out that year? God, I forget. I know that MW2 2022 came out, like, later on that year. But other than that, yeah, there wasn't really much of interest.
Another Nvidia video drops. This time, a lukewarm reaction.
I mean, it's alright, like...
Yeah.
Everybody already knew that if there was a game, it looked good. However, they also drop another video.
Yeah, but they also knew that if there was a game, it probably wasn't going to shape out to be all that it could be. Knowing what people knew. Well, finding out what people found out. It was probably not going to be what people wanted it to be. And... yeah, it wasn't.
Life at Fntastic. Here, they tell us they're actually partnered with Nvidia and Lenovo, and get products from them for free. They've now been working on the game for 4 years. They show us how great it is to work for them. Just look at how much fun they're having. It's also worth noting...
Yeah, press X for major doubt. Yeah. Yeah, not the great situation.
We don't see an actual office here once, but the main thing here, their app. Turns out, there's this new app they've developed called the Continent app, and they're talking about it a lot. In fact, the whole video seems more like an ad about that than the actual game or company.
With the Continent app.
The description of the video was also literally just a link to download the app. They also post this on Twitter. Okay, now people are really pissed. This game was launching in just around 8 weeks, and they hadn't seen any proper footage in months. Not once had they actually seen raw gameplay. Half the team were being paid in Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And now they were being shilled an off-brand Russian version of Zoom.
They need it. Honestly, I don't think they can be looked into anymore, but like the next time that they do this, cause there's going to be a next time, we need actual agencies to look into this company because yeah, that's really not good. Like this is really not a good set of circumstances. Like again, this is a pattern of behavior, dude. We've seen their track record with like multiple projects before, so we know that this is gonna happen again. Like it's gonna take a few years perhaps, but they're going to do this again. We know that. We already know this.
Boys, sorry to say, this thing's not looking good.
Yeah.
Wait, Fntastic says.
Far from good.
Fine. Actual, raw gameplay is on the way, lads. We'll post it in Discord soon. But then, something disastrous happens. On the 25th of Jan 2023, people log on to Steam and check their wish lists. Is something missing? And after rigorously scrolling up and down to think, hold on, the day before.
It was taken off.
Where was it?
Yep.
Had the game been taken off Steam? Some people load up Fntastic's YouTube page, and even some of their videos are down. Devoted fans fear the worst. The dreaded rug pull was here.
Oh!
However, Fntastic rushed to the Discord, and they have a little something to say. Hey, so yep, the game has been taken down from Steam, but don't worry. It was taken down due to a bug from Steam maintenance. This whole thing's normal, and it'll be right back.
And as we know now, that is not normal. That was not normal at all. Not good.
Not long after, they come out with another, completely different statement.
Oh yeah, right.
So, actually, turns out that old name of ours, the one we've been advertising in every trailer and poster for a couple
Yeah, they didn't have the trademark to it.
of years now. Well, we'd never actually got round to trademarking
Yep, they never got the trademark.
Well, Korean calendar app may have got there first. And they're now suing us. And of course, they also announce another delay.
Again, I'm pretty sure that the whole dispute with both the app and the game, I'm pretty sure that was real. But again, how much have they not told us about this to where we can actually comfortably say that it was real or not real? Again, it's really hard. It's really hard to trust. In fact, I think it's impossible now to trust them.
And March 2023 now becomes November the 10th, 17 months after the original launch. Because of the trademark issues. But then they come out and say that actually, this delay was planned all along.
Because of course it was. Of course it was. Of course it was planned. I wonder why. Yeah, not good.
Also, because of this whole situation, that actual raw gameplay we promised to drop, also delayed. What? But don't worry. They have strong legal partners and will take the fight to the courts. They're confident. The result of all of this? Chaos.
Yep.
Fans revolt en masse. Reddit and Discord light up like the 4th of July. Everyone asking the same thing.
Yeah. Like, this is when I started thinking, like, hey, This definitely looks incredibly fishy. Maybe something's going on. But even still, like I held out just that tiny bit of hope that maybe with everything going on there was still an actual game being worked on. That's what I thought. Like I just thought just maybe there was something of, substance here.
Is this game actually real? Before, anyone on the Discord who dared to ask would be exiled instantly.
Yep.
But now, even the head mods are asking it. Woo lads, this isn't great.
Yeah.
Time to get back on the mic. The storm will calm down eventually, and time will put everything in its place. When the game comes out, people will finally see the truth. They tell IGN. Okay.
Yeah.
Public support is now in the toilet, and things are looking dire. Any street cred they'd amassed, already flushed. The consensus was unanimous.
This is how they
This
actually
game-
this is how they actually kill hope for the game, hope for your company, hope for your fan base. This is how to not, do things well when it comes to, developing a game. This is like a bad strategic. This was multiple bad strategic moves by this company, and yeah, pretty much it all culminated in this.
Was a scam. They had to do something, and quick. Gentlemen, we've been promising it for months, but now is the time. Release the footage. So in
Yeah.
early February 2023, with apparent approval from their legal team, they decide to release some actual, unedited gameplay. They even have a big fancy countdown for it. But then the countdown hits 0 and nothing happens. The gameplay reveal is then delayed again. But eventually,
I totally forgot that they did that. Bro. Oh my god, that's like some April Fool's stuff. Although it was in February, dude.
after citing technical issues, later that week the gameplay does actually release, and the game is finally out there for people to see.
Yeah, this isn't the same game. That's not the same game that was shown back in like 2022, 2021. That's not the same game. You can't convince me that it is.
We now know this game is actually real, but there are a few issues. The graphics, they're not great, and definitely not what was shown a couple of years ago.
You can't convince me that that's Unreal 5. Like, that still looks like Unreal 4 at the bare minimum.
The lighting looks completely different, and there's a clear downgrade in VFX. It also looks very boring. There's no zombies around anywhere, and the majority of the 10 minutes consists of walking around and checking drawers. People also noticed they'd literally copied, shot for shot, bits of the Cold War Zombies trailer.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my, they literally ripped the trailer. They literally ripped the trailer straight from Cold War, dude. I totally forgot about that.
Drawers. People
Bro.
also noticed they'd literally
Like,
copied.
just look at this, man. This was they literally. Okay, I gotta change the quality, but dude,
Shot for shot.
they ripped it. They ripped the trailer straight from Cold War. Oh my god, dude. That's bad.
Bits
That's
of the
really
Cold War
bad.
Zombies trailer. And come to think of it, some of those initial marketing materials.
Yeah. They were like, they definitely, stole a lot from popular games.
Also look a bit sus. Naturally, the response to this reveal is negative.
Yep.
So on the 8th of February, Fntastic come out with another statement, this time addressing the haters. Anyone can say anything for views, and everyone will believe it, they say. Disinformation needs to be dealt with. Destroying is easy, creating is difficult.
Yeah, this, like... if you know anything about PR, This is not a statement that you actually want to make. This is not an actual, like... This is not an actual statement you should say in terms of, like, public relations, because... Yeah, that's not good. This isn't good.
In fact, they say after the game comes out, they'll spend a portion of their time fighting disinformation.
Sure.
February
Sure
16th, and a new devlog comes out. This time, there's absolutely no mention of the Continent app. In fact, by March 2023, the Continent app had been taken down, the website gone, and all mention of it completely wiped, meaning the whole thing had lasted just around 3 months. April 2023. A beta for the day before is announced, alongside a promise to players that there would be no more delays. They get to work behind the scenes with their army of volunteers, and are dead serious about getting this thing out. In June, they even announced new features, like in-game jobs. Become anything from a manual labourer to a musician. Look, saunas. Nice. Despite everyone still thinking it was a scam, they're working hard and getting stuff done. They are gonna get this thing out. There's also an official trailer in June. This time, it's just a Lamborghini.
Yeah, like, what do they think our reaction is going to be to seeing this?
Driving down a road.
Man, fucking meow.
At first,
It just looks like a generic racing game, dude. Set in, like, a post-apocalyptic world. It just... Like, what were they expecting us to say? I don't know. I don't know, man.
first it seems very random and out of place. But then people realise it's just a rip-off of a shot from I Am Legend.
Oh my god, dude. I didn't even know that. Straight rip from I Am Legend, bro. I Am Legend, dude. Oh my god. This is so bad in retrospect. Oh, they never stopped. They never stopped copying things, dude. Oh my god. They never stopped copying it. Oh my god.
August 2023, and Fntastic are preparing for the worst. In case they lose their trademark lawsuit, they file for the rights to a new backup name, Dayworld. However, people online
Oh, Dayworld. That's such a stupid name. That's such a dumb name. Oh, yeah. I would have the same reaction.
realised that name could also be a problem, due to a series of books written in the
Bro.
80s. But nonetheless, the wait for November intensifies. In April, they'd said no more delays, but on November 1st, they announced another delay. Game's now coming out a month later, December 7th. Also, only the PC version would be launching, and now via early access.
Yeah, not good. Not a great situation.
The PlayStation 5 and Xbox versions would supposedly release alongside the full version of the game, whenever that may be. Also, news on the lawsuit. They'd won. And there it is, gentlemen. It's back. Raise a glass. This game is actually releasing. November 2nd, another trailer comes out. This time, people notice that their marketing is now copying from other games. This time, Cyberpunk 2077, GTA...
Dude, they literally never stopped. They literally never stopped, dude. Oh my god. Like, and keep in mind, the game isn't even what... The game wasn't even what it was supposed to be. So this is blatant just... This is blatant false advertisement, man.
5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. 4th of December. The game is 3 days from its supposed launch, and Fntastic decides now is a great time to come out with a statement saying, please don't accuse us of scamming, and please don't accuse us of asset flip. That's not true also. This is in response to a horde of comments online, suggesting those exact two things. But ignore all of that, because for years now, people had been doubting them.
Liar!
claims of vaporware, fake trailers, scamming, plagiarism. They'd even been dragged through the courts and came out victorious. And against all odds, their game was actually real and releasing this week.
Debatably. It was debatably real. Oh god, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, this is just
It's even being advertised in Times Square.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. It was advertised in Times Square. I wonder how much they spent on that. I wonder how much they spent as opposed to actually, you know, actually spending to work on the game. Oh lord.
Done it. Made a real, playable game. And proved everyone wrong.
Sure thing, buddy.
And on December 7th, after a very turbulent 2 years, the day before releases. And it's so bad.
Yep. I could have told you that one. Oh my god. There was a point on Twitch that had like over what, like 40,000 viewers? Oh god.
The day before was advertised since day one as an MMO. Almost every trailer mentioned the word MMO.
Guess what it was? Guess what it was? He's gonna tell you, but guess what it was?
In the Steam description, MMO. So naturally, people expected the game to be an MMO.
I think he's gonna tell you what it is.
That wasn't the case.
Yep,
the game only hosted a maximum of 32 people per server. There were no raids or clans, and the world itself was small and not even really open. Basically just an extraction shooter like Tarkov.
Boom. That is what it was. To a T. It was an extraction shooter. It wasn't The Division mixed with DayZ. It wasn't any of what was said. It was an extraction shooter. What? What? I mean, dude, if you're gonna advertise a game as a certain thing, you gotta make it that certain thing. Or you gotta just say, hey, it's going to be this instead. They didn't do either. They still said it was gonna be an open world MMO RPG. No, open world MMO survival, not RPG. And guess what? It wasn't. That's a blatant false advertisement, man. You done goofed. You done goofed.
But much, much worse.
Yeah.
That wasn't the only thing trailers lied about. There's also no survival mechanics. Crafting is now gone. All that's left of that is gun modification and the ability to create a completely pointless house in a closed off area of the map.
Yeah.
Environmental destruction's gone, sleeping bags, this entire part of the map, and definitely these mud physics, proximity chat, a day and night cycle, no vaulting, and lastly, actual zombies. Seriously, like, where are they? This game was pitched as a zombie survival.
I think there were zombies, but they were just the bare minimum amount. And yeah, I think they were very buggy as well. So, to say this was not well produced, yeah, that would be a major understatement.
Game, with the trailers showing massive hordes of them. But so far, there's absolutely none around. They're so rare, people actually band together into search parties just to look for them. On the odd occasion you actually run into 3 or more of them, your performance will also tank.
Yep.
In fact, the performance in general is pretty terrible. When you do actually see them, zombies can easily be sidestepped, outjogged, and rendered completely useless when standing on top of cars. Even other players, barely a threat. The game is so empty, people start to think a ton of the gunshots they're hearing on the map are actually fake, placed there by devs to give the illusion there's actually stuff going on. However, say you actually do run into someone and don't have any ammo. Unlucky, because there's literally no form of melee in the game whatsoever. This isn't a post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. Saying that, that shouldn't be a problem.
So if you don't have the ammo, you're screwed. Oh my god, that's such bad design, man. Dude. Oh my, either if you don't have ammo, guess what? You're dead, cuz like That's pretty much. Holy crap, dude! This was such bad design.
As the loot rarity in this game is completely botched, with rifles, machine guns and ammo pretty much peppered about everywhere. Then there's no progression, optimization sucks, gunplay isn't great, servers often have a 1 to 2 second delay to register shots, constant alarms, and you can't even turn them off like you can in the trailers.
Hello?
Anyways, first impressions is these alarms need to fuck off.
The graphics, nothing like they were in the initial trailers.
Nope.
The lighting is especially bad.
Yep.
You can buy vehicles in the form of cars, but they're dumb. It will take an average of 110 hours of gameplay just to afford one, and you can lose it forever in a matter of minutes.
Bruh.
Luckily, there's a money duping glitch discovered within 1 day of the game coming out, so now everyone in the apocalypse has a Lamborghini.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
The story? Well, you wake up a man with a seemingly fine speech organ.
All right. Your speech organs seem fine.
You're then welcomed into a community called Woodbury, where all survivors are located and work together to rebuild. Just after that, you step out into the world, where you and those same people then go out to savagely kill each other in a bloody free-for-all. There's a lot of broken English, and even suspicions of AI voice acting and writing.
Put your things in here.
And then there are the bugs. As soon as you start the game, be careful getting up, as your character likely glitches through a wall, falls through the map, or just dies instantly.
Bruh.
Time to restart.
Oh my god. Well, you could tell they only worked on this in like the span of like 6 months. Like a half a year. That is all they spent on it. That is all they spent working on this game. Because that's what it seems like, dude. It seems like you gave the studio like, hey, you have a deadline of 6 months. Get something made in that time frame, or you're done. And yeah, they put this out, and obviously it just it feels, you know. It feels like it was made in 6 months, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh wait, that doesn't actually fix the problem, as it's just saved when you exited, and you'll load back in outside the map, with the only option being to restart the whole game. All of this in the initial tutorial, within the first minute of starting the game. Then there's whatever this is. And Massive Headman.
I totally forgot about
But
that.
nonetheless, the game sells more than
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is trash. This entire freaking game was trash.
200,000 copies. And
Oh
Steam's
my
day
God.
one player base is around 40,000 people. The game's done very well. It's even played by big Twitch streamers like Dr. Disrespect. However, the cracks soon start to
Yeah, I mean, and also, well, how little we all knew. How little we all knew back then.
However, the cracks soon start to appear. It instantly acquires the overwhelmingly negative score on Steam, and the Discord erupts into complaints. Hot on the list? This game isn't
Yeah,
even an
their
MMO.
Discord was a freaking war zone, from what I remember. God, like, I wish I was part of it so I could actually like screen record and show what it was like. Because Jesus H Christ, that was bad, man.
After Fntastic is called out on this, however, people begin noticing something. The game's Steam page. It's changing. What's different here? See, behind the scenes, Fntastic had quietly been removing tags like MMO and open world survival craft, and hoping no one would notice. They did.
Yep.
However, that didn't even matter, because it's literally right there in the first and only line of the game's
They didn't
description,
change the
which they forgot to
description.
change. But by day 2, big cracks.
Oh my
60%
God.
of the player base dips over the first night, and an internal leak shows, although the game sold 200,000 copies, 91,000 had been refunded. Dear God.
Yeah, that's bad.
Also,
that's really
at this
bad.
point, the reviews are in. Steam's overwhelmingly negative rating is now at just 13% positive, making it one of the worst rated games of all time there, and IGN has just given it a 1 out of 10.
Yep.
I didn't get stuck.
Nice.
Keep in mind, supposedly, that is like the first time in like what? I think over 10 years that IGN has rated the game 1 out of 10. It was that bad. It was that trash. And also, yeah, no sooner after IGN, well, before IGN could post a review, the game was taken off of Steam. Yeah. Imagine, dude. Just imagine that. Oh, that was rough.
But now people actually had their hands on it. It was time to crack open the game files and see what's under the hood of this bad boy. And, my god, it's worse than we thought. After a brief look on the Unreal Engine store, it's quickly apparent something seemed familiar. Files upon files, documents upon documents, thousands of assets flipped.
It was a blatant asset flip. Like literally almost everything there was taken off the Unreal Engine store. Oh my, that was just, bro. Oh my god. This happened, by the way. Like this is the reality we're living in. In a reality where this happened. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
After careful review, it seems that the inventory, building system, gunplay, bleeding mechanic, main menu, and more all come from a $65 Unreal Engine Store asset pack called the Survival Game Kit V2. Even the actual map itself. Supposedly a $300 asset flip from the American City pack bundle from the same store. And the artwork looks familiar.
Yep.
There's a ton more, all documented in this Reddit post. Day 3. 80% of the player base is now gone, and Fntastic comes out with another statement. Lads, it's been great, it really has, but the game didn't do too well, and we're closing shop. And the entire studio...
Yep. That was in like 2-3 days after the game released, the studio... It killed the studio pretty much. Like let's just say for what it was. This game killed that studio. And rightfully so. They played a stupid game and they won a stupid prize. That is the way it goes. The more you F around, the more you're going to find out. And they found out. That's it. They found out. And they only have themselves to blame for that.
Ceases operations 3 days into the release of the game. Valve removes the ability to purchase the day before on Steam, and personally steps in to offer refunds beyond the usual 2 hours of game time. And Operation Scrub begins. Within hours, the brothers burn everything. Their YouTube videos, LinkedIn, Facebook, a ton of tweets. The lot. Again, chaos erupts in the Discord, which had partially opened back up at this point. Eyewitnesses on Reddit claim the final hours of the official Discord are glorious. From the moment the company called it quits, the Discord apparently goes completely out of control. 2 admins quit right away, and the rest of the admins and moderators start selling cheap keys of the game to everyone since the game had just been pulled from Steam. Eventually, it's just one single dev trying to hold it all together. Meanwhile, hate speech fills up the chat in minutes and is being spewed everywhere.
Yeah.
They reply to someone on Twitter.
Dude, I wish I had a video of that, because it was friggin' glorious, man. It was absolutely glorious what was, spread in there.
This was our first big experience. Shit happens. And with
You could tell that the PR team either was non-existent or, was one of the first teams to quit. like when this company was going under. Because who writes a tweet like that? How does that get past corporate? It's crazy, man.
With that, they log off.
Yep.
However,
dude, it's kind of odd to like a point where I want to see what happens next. Like we know like the co-CEOs, they're going to come back. They're going to, this is like the day before isn't the end all be all to them. They're going to have a new project. And what happens after that, I think, you know, that will be amazing. We'll have to see what's going on next, because wow. Honestly, like I want to be one of the first to make content on that when it drops, because Jesus Christ.
180-degree announcement in the Discord. Actually, they're now reopening and ready to go with a major patch on the 14th. But December the 14th comes and goes, and nothing.
Oh.
The Discord is then fully shut down and never heard from again.
The breakdown.
A few days after it all goes down, a journalist in Singapore decides to actually visit Fntastic's offices. He travels to their address, however, turns out it's a shared co-op working space, having solely used it as a virtual office space.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not shady at all. That's not completely eyebrow raising whatsoever. Yeah. That's fine.
He also goes to their original address based on their filings. However, that building's online directory only shows a management consultancy company. And so, in people's minds, their office had gone from a game dev studio to a small studio, when in reality, the whole time it was more like someone's living room.
It was a shed in somebody's backyard. You cannot convince me otherwise. It was a shed in somebody's backyard. Oh.
It's presumed that they were never actually based in Singapore,
Well, that was a load of shit.
and only used this residency to apply for grants, and to avoid being hit with Russian sanctions.
Yeah.
This also explains why an office was never shown in their vlogs, just people's bedrooms. The dev vlog was also
Pretty
apparently
much.
filmed in a hotel lobby, and the devs were in a rental unit nearby.
Again, like, this makes me wonder, like, so I guess they got away with, you know, the volunteer thing, because there was no actual, like, because they didn't know where any of these people were. Like, they didn't know like where any of this was actually based in. Like, because everybody assumed it was Singapore, and pretty much, yeah. And again, I need to preface this. This is definitely like legal territory. Like the unpaid volunteer work, that's definitely, they could definitely be liable for to get sued. I still feel like that's the case. But yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
The same journalist gets Fntastic's bank statements, and turns out they filed around $3 million of revenue in 2022, with 200,000 of that going to the brothers.
Yikes.
That's alongside 300k in travel expenses for the brothers in just 1 year. The filings also revealed that by the end of 2022, Fntastic had the value of around $1 million in their account. So things do sound a bit dodgy here. But what actually happened? Well, theories are everywhere. The first, a classic, run-of-the-mill rug pull. Take the money and run. However,
I mean, in a sense, that's kind of what it was. Not completely, but that's kind of what it was.
this doesn't make too much sense. One, because Valve holds purchase money for 30 days
for an entire month before they pay out.
before paying out to developers. So they hadn't even seen a penny from their actual sales yet before closing the studio down. And two, they offered refunds en masse. Then there's the investment scam theory. Some people believe the brothers had no intention of ever making a proper game. That their only goal was to churn out a nice looking slice of pre-rendered gameplay and cutscenes, packaged as real gameplay, attract investors with it, and then eventually cancel the whole thing and bag the cash.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. like an investment scam, that definitely makes sense. But I mean, I still feel like there are some. I could be completely wrong, but I still feel like there are some regulations you have to follow when it comes to that. But then again, like, laws could be completely different where they're based out of, so maybe not, but again, this is just like really sketchy.
Or give a half-assed attempt at creating one using cheap assets on the Unreal store and the free labour they'd amassed to implement it.
Yeah.
All the while paying themselves a cushy 200k salary. And then there's the plain old incompetence theory. Management of the studio completely in over their head, drumming up too much hype, and flying too close to the sun.
I mean, that is the most likely, but even still, I feel like you can have like a half-competent studio and actually like put out something of value or whatnot. There was no value to be found in the day before. There literally wasn't. I feel like a studio that was half competent can actually make a decent product. Not like the day before, but again, like, yeah, it's the most plausible.
Post-launch interviews with anonymous developers give credence to this theory. See, not long after the company shuts down, alleged ex-developers scuttle from the darkness of the behind-the-scenes and give answers as to what actually happened in various interviews. The picture that we can cobble together goes a little like this. Allegedly. From the beginning of the company back in 2016, the brothers allegedly had complete control over development. Thus, the day before was completely headed by the two, who made every gameplay and design decision. The day before actually started out with cartoonish graphics, and a far, far smaller scope. Single player, and basically just a third-person version of the Wild 8. Back then, things were actually manageable. However, one day, the brothers woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw another man.
People will buy anything.
Oh,
The game
my
had
God.
to be bigger, better. 16 times the detail, 4 times the size.
Bro.
And with the brothers' genius management style,
My God.
apparently
It's literally
consisting
just Todd Howard. Oh my God, no.
of demanding completely unrealistic features in an insanely short time frame, as well as shifting the direction of the game on an almost monthly basis, depending on what game they just played. Things were constantly changing. They'd just played Stalker, at that tablet thing.
Yep.
They'd just logged on to GTA Online, new character creator.
Yep.
Played a bit of Spider-Man 2, the city's too gloomy, make it much brighter and a little friendlier. This was apparently constant. Alleged
Yeah.
Fntastic insiders also claim the following. Working
Dude, they wanted to be from the sound of it, they wanted to be like every other developer. That's setting yourself up for failure. Like, if you aspire to be every other developer as opposed to yourself, you're gonna run into some major problems. Like, you gotta focus on, what will make your product stand above everyone else's product. You gotta figure that out first, because if you end up copying everybody else, and this kind of goes for content creation as well, if you end up copying everybody else, you're not gonna have something that makes you unique. You're just gonna be a copy of somebody else, and if you're a content creator, people aren't gonna want to watch you, and if you're a game developer, people aren't gonna want to play your game. That's about how it goes, man. That's pretty much how it is.
for Fntastic apparently included unpaid overtime and months of crunch, apparently often working for 18 hours a day, sometimes including the weekend. During the development of Prop Night, the developers were apparently locked in their office for weeks at a time. What's that? Made a tiny mistake or argued with one of the brothers? Well, Fntastic has a company policy of spontaneous termination,
Yep.
so you're now out of a job. Just submitted some subpar work? Well, turns out they also have a policy of fining their own employees, up to the tune of almost $2,000 in some cases,
my
so make
God.
sure that works good.
Yeah, that's not scummy at all. That's not, that doesn't make you a terrible person whatsoever. Nah. No, it's fine.
The communication to their devs, impeccable too. People are so well informed on what they're actually developing that it's through the initial trailer that some of them find out that the game they've been working on for years at this point is actually an MMO. So how come employees didn't just dip? Well, the employees were recruited from a ton of small regional towns without much opportunity. So when they were promised a comparatively good salary and a AAA project in their portfolio, they didn't say no.
That's
best part of all. On the backs of
they incentivized those people to actually work for them because they thought that these people thought, you know, they were going to work on something great. They were actually going to have, you know, a decent future. Turns out that, you know, the two CEOs are scumbags, pretty much.
this desperate, unpaid labour, they'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on travel and paid themselves a nice chunk of change too. Not bad, lads. According to the developers, the day before also ended up being remade from scratch 3 to 4 times. Apparently 500 gigabytes of source code was created for the game, the vast majority of which were not included in the end product.
Oh my god.
The version released on Steam on December the 8th is apparently around 1/10 of all content that was originally conceived, according to insiders.
Yep.
The video for Nvidia was apparently, at the time, a completely separate build created specifically for recording those trailers.
Because of course it was. It's too good to actually be an actual full-fledged game. So, you know, let's just make an Nvidia build that we're going to use to, you know, scam everybody into, you know, getting their hopes up and eventually, you know, buying our F-tier game. Let's do that. That seems really nice. God damn it.
But anyway, after 4 years of this messy development, and in 2023, they're closing in on launch day. They have to get a move on, so they buy a ton of packs from the Unreal store and start implementing them. The final game is starting to take shape. They apparently begin actually testing the game as late as early 2023, and it was done by around 5 people. This isn't really considered the most robust testing for a game, especially one that was advertised as a huge MMO and would have dozens of people on their servers.
Yep.
Due to the lack of proper testing, they couldn't stress test and bug test the servers to see what they'd look like when filled. The result? Well, it turned out that when the servers actually were filled, they were completely destabilized, so devs had to reduce the number of zombies on the map, and the hordes of zombies vanished from the game. It's now close to November, and my toner apparently decides to check how their AAA product was doing. The publisher is naturally horrified when they see the absolute state of this thing, and apparently
Okay, it's good to know that they weren't entirely complicit in what Fntastic was up to. It's good to know that, but at the same time, yeah, I feel like more should have been done. I don't know what, but more should have been done.
send specialists. These are basically their own developers sent there to help. However, after seeing it for themselves, they apparently report back that the game should basically launch as is. There was nothing to save here. And on December 7th, it's the big day.
Okay, well, retract my statement. Okay, yeah, right. Sure.
And the brothers are now apparently nowhere to be found, leaving the devs on their own to make all the decisions themselves.
They took the potential guaranteed cash and dipped, pretty much.
This is during huge waves of backlash hitting their Reddit, Discord, pretty much everywhere. They apparently get to work on fixing the bugs, sorting the servers, and writing hotfixes. However, they're apparently not allowed to actually release these hotfixes because Dr. Disrespect was currently streaming the game. One of these patches apparently fixes the lack of zombies on the map.
Are you joking? Just because like one of the biggest streamers is streaming the game doesn't mean that you can't. Bro, it doesn't just kick people off the game and have the hot fixes run. How hard is that?
Now that they could actually test the game with more than 5 people,
God.
Things are looking up. However, on December 11th, a screenshot from one of the brothers appears on Microsoft Teams. Lads, The game has sold 200,000 copies. However, 90,000 have been returned. We're closing down. And just like that, after 4 days of release, it was over.
Oh my god.
For a while, the last bit of communication we'd had from Fntastic was shit happens. But on the 24th of January, they returned from the shadows once more. They present us with another one of their now iconic Twitter statements. They essentially deny developers' claims in various interviews, and essentially blame the game's failure on hate from content creators. They get community noted instantly, with people pointing out inconsistencies and flat out lies within the statement. So they take it down, edit it.
They just can't accept responsibility. They just have to like shift the blame on everybody else, dude. Just own up, you made a bad decision, now you gotta accept it, man. You just had to accept it.
And repost it. They then get community noted on the repost. They delete it, edit it, and repost it again. Community noted.
Yeah.
It's at this point that they just give up completely, taking it down and just adding it to their website instead. From Steam's most wishlisted game to being almost 50% refunded in one day, pulled by Steam, and hurled with accusations of plagiarism and potential investor fraud, some people think the day before didn't quite reach the potential of the original trailer.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. This was a blatant cash grab, essentially. In hindsight, yeah, we all see it now.
And to everyone's complete shock, it was beginning to look like the MMO zombie survival game from an indie studio headed by two ambiguous Russian brothers that no one had ever heard of before had failed. And on January the 22nd, 2024, the day before's servers go down for good, meaning the game's total lifespan was 45 days.
Yeah,
the game's subreddit today, once large and fairly active, is now largely abandoned and has become an absolute lawless shitshow. And the brothers, well,
people just crap post over there.
They haven't actually been seen since December the 7th. However, according to multiple former dev,
they might be vacationing in Cuba, honestly, just off the grid completely. They got what they wanted and just said, you know what, screw it. We ain't gotta talk to nobody. We did what we set out to do. We ain't gotta talk to nobody no more. We just head out to Cuba. Off the grid completely. Life is good.
Currently received offers from them. They're out there, and apparently are currently working on a new mobile game.
So the cycle never truly ends, pretty much. Yeah. Wow. Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna give you guys a link to the video. Wow. So again, this is just a pattern of behavior. One day, they will work on another big project. And you know what? They're counting on everybody to forget. Guess what? We're not gonna forget. We are not gonna forget this. They were counting on us to forget. Nope. We remember. We all remember what you took from us. And quite frankly, you're never gonna get that chance again.